I never thought I'd need to keep tabs on my wife. Trust, to me, wasn't something you guarded, it was something you gave. Her name was Rachel. For 6 years, I believed we were the kind of couple others looked at with quiet envy. She was radiant, magnetic, the kind of woman who could command a room without saying a word. I wasn't special or wealthy. Just a man who worked hard, came home early, and loved quietly but fully. It began with a photo. Her best friend Erica had shared a carousel from their girls' trip to Miami. I was scrolling one night, half distracted, when I saw it. The two of them, laughing, glasses raised, the sunset spilling behind them. But then my eyes caught her hand bare. No ring. At first I told myself it was nothing. Maybe the light hit wrong. But when I zoomed in, the faint tan line glared back. My chest tightened. Maybe she'd taken it off to swim, I reasoned. Maybe she didn't want to lose it. But picture after picture, there was no ocean, no beach. Just bars, dinners, rooftop lounges. Every frame radiated a kind of freedom she shouldn't have been chasing. When she came home, I didn't confront her. I wanted to believe the story would make sense. She was glowing, talking about how refreshing it had been, how much she'd needed a break. But her voice felt rehearsed, like she was narrating someone else's life. A week later, I finally asked, "Hey, just wondering, why weren't you wearing your ring in those Miami photos?" She froze just for a heartbeat, but it was enough. Then she laughed. Oh, I must have forgotten it. I was packing in such a rush. Except Rachel never forgot anything. She planned everything down to the smallest detail. Her answer was too smooth, too easy. I nodded, pretending to accept it, but something cold and heavy began to settle inside me. Days passed. Her phone started living face down. Her replies came slower. Girls' nights appeared out of nowhere. You don't need proof when you can feel the distance. Love has a frequency, and hers was fading out of reach. One night, while she was in the shower, her phone lit up on the counter. I didn't touch it, but I saw the message preview. "Did you tell him?" From Erica. No context, no name, but it was enough to make my pulse pound. When she came out, wrapped in a towel, humming like nothing had changed, I couldn't even meet her eyes. I lay beside her that night, but it felt like sharing a bed with a stranger. By morning, I was already awake, coffee cooling beside me, staring at our wedding photo, her in white, smiling like forever meant something real. When she came downstairs, she smiled. "You're up early." "I saw the pictures," I said quietly. "And the messages." Her expression drained. She didn't ask which ones. She didn't deny it. Silence did the talking for her. "I don't know what's going on," I said, my voice steady. "But if you've already taken off the ring once, maybe you just forgot to put it back on." Her lips parted, no words followed. "I'm not angry," I said, standing. "I'm just done pretending we're still who we used to be." Then I turned and walked upstairs. I packed a small bag and walked out before she could find her voice. The sound of that front door clicking shut didn't feel like an ending. It felt like the first honest thing between us in months. I didn't drive far that morning. Ended up at a rundown motel off the highway, the kind with humming lights and paper-thin walls. I sat on the edge of the bed for a long time, just listening to the air conditioner buzz. There's a strange calm that comes when all the noise in your head finally burns itself out. I wasn't angry anymore, just hollow. Rachel called 6 times that day. I didn't answer. Each ring sounded like a ghost knocking on a door I'd already sealed shut. Near sunset, she texted, "Can we talk, please? It's not what you think, but it always is." 2 days later, I went back to the house, not for her, but for closure. She was at the kitchen table, eyes red, makeup smudged, looking like she hadn't slept. "You just left," she whispered, as if me walking away was the crime. "You took your ring off," I said flatly. "That was you leaving first." She looked away, tried to smile. It was stupid. We were joking around. Someone said married women don't get free drinks, so I raised my hand. "Don't insult both of us," I said. For a moment, her mask slipped, jaw tight, eyes sharp. "You're overreacting, Luke. It's just a ring." That sentence broke the last piece of me that cared. No, I said quietly. It was a promise. One that must have stopped meaning something to you long before that trip. We stood there in silence, years of love and laughter turning to dust between us. Then I grabbed my coat and left. She didn't follow. Weeks passed. I rented a small apartment downtown, the kind that smelled faintly of coffee and paint. Every night I drop my keys, sit by the window, and stare at the pale ring mark on my finger. It wasn't pain anymore. It was peace dressed as emptiness. Friends asked what happened. I told them the truth wrapped in simplicity. We stopped being honest. One evening, Erica called, the same Erica from the trip. Her voice trembled. I need to tell you something, Luke. She didn't just take the ring off. She met someone down there. It was short, but it happened. She said it didn't mean anything. I thanked her and hung up. Then I sat in the quiet, letting the truth settle like dust. Strangely, I didn't feel betrayed anymore, just confirmed. Every uneasy silence, every shift in tone, it had all been leading here. A month later, Rachel texted again. I made a mistake.
Can we talk?
Maybe counseling. I typed back one line. I hope you find what you're looking for. I already did. Then I blocked her number.
It's been almost a year since that day.
My world's smaller now, quieter, but steady. I work, hit the gym, read before bed. Sometimes I still think about her. Her laugh, the way she'd drift off mid-movie, but then I remember that photo from Miami. How easily she'd slipped off the symbol of everything we built. Love doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be loyal. When someone can take off their ring as easily as a watch, it tells you how temporary you are in their story. People ask if I'd ever take her back. I just smile and say, I already did once in my mind. Never again. Because the truth is, the moment she removed that ring, our marriage didn't just crack, it dissolved. What was left was paper, history, and a man who finally learned that silence can be the loudest form of self-respect. Now, when I see couples laughing over dinner, I don't feel bitterness. I just hope they understand how fragile forever really is. And if anyone asks why I left, I'll tell them the truth. It wasn't about the trip or the photos. It was about realizing that love shouldn't need reminders to stay faithful. She took off her ring on a girl's trip, so I ended it.